Hey guys, what is up? Mike here. Thanks for tuning in to another video. In this video, I want to go over 4 pillars that you can lean on to dominate your next UX design interview. Now, in all the videos that I put out, my interview tips, my interview advice are some of the most in-demand videos and some of the most loved videos I have because, it's real stuff. People are out there, going after that interview and they want those tips, they want that advice to land that deal, to get that job, to make that money. I get it. So as I think about new ideas and new things, I'm going to be posting them out there to help you dominate your next UX design interview. Somebody left me a message yesterday saying, Mike, can you talk about video, video interviews for UX designers? And I don't want to get too detailed into whether you're on a Skype call or like in-house interview. It's all one of the same. I always tell people, be yourself, do these things. But to be more specific, there are 4 pillars that when I look at when I go into an interview, what are some of the things, what advice could I give somebody? 4 pillars. I'm gonna go over them really quickly and then I'll go into detail into each. The first one is the caring pillar. You're just a nice person, happy, all right? I'll explain this. Just being a nice person and getting along with other people. That's the first pillar. The second pillar is the get her done pillar. All right. Anything that comes your way, you want to let them know that you're a go-getter. You're a person that can do these things. Right. We'll talk about this stuff. The third one is your focus on high quality visual UI design. Okay, that's highly important. And the last one is you being a great UX designer. All right, I'm going to give you some practical tips, some practical advice, some practical nuggets that you can write down and study and take this into your next interview. Keep it simple. Only 4 pillars: caring, being a nice person pillar, the get her done pillar, UI design pillar, and the UX designer pillar. All right. The first pillar that you can lean on. Now, it doesn't matter where these questions come up. Doesn't matter what order these things come up, but when the question's called on, you can lean on one of these pillars. First and foremost, the first pillar, think of a pole, a pillar or whatever, and you have a bunch of words around this pillar, a bunch of adjectives or whatever phrases. Nice person, humble, building relationships, caring about other people, being a nice person, not being a jerk, all right? That goes a long way. I swear to you, I'm like that naturally, and that's probably got me a lot of jobs. Just the fact that I'm a nice person. People, when I go in, I'm just a natural nice person. How do you become a nice person if you're not a nice person? Just be a nice person. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a know-it-all. Be nice to them. Smile. All right, because that's going to go well with the interviewer. That's going to go well with your potential coworkers. That's going to go well with any stakeholders or leaders in that organization. Go, I like this person. I can work with them. He or she, they're a nice person. It's also going to go well with them knowing that you're going to get along with your engineers. You're going to get along with your product owners. You're going to get along with your development managers and other coworkers within the organization that you're going to have to work with. That's a huge skill. And that's something that when you show that and you display that and you talk about that, that's going to go well for you in an interview. So whether they say, how do you work with other engineers, by the way, folks are doing construction out there, so sorry for the noise, but when they say, how do you work well with other engineers, you're like, hey, you know what, just listen to them. Everybody has opinions and I'm not always right, and so it's just a matter of listening to them, get to know them. Same with product owners, same with stakeholders. Listen to what they're saying and try to work with them. You do those things, that's all you got to do. If you want something to really, something I think like concrete to take with that pillar, read that book or read the Cliff Note version of How to Win Friends and Influence People, or How to Influence People and whatever. You know that book, right? Very popular book. How to Influence Friends, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm talking about. Search it up and very good. Read the Cliff Note version of that, and then just talks about caring, being understanding of other people's opinions and things like that, right? That's the first pillar. The second pillar, get her done. You let them know there's no task that can be thrown your way that you're not going to complete on time and on budget, right? In my 20 years, I've never had a task, I've never had a job, I've never had anything thrown my way that I did not complete or didn't know how to complete. What I do is I take these projects and I'm not a perfectionist, I'm not an overthinker. You get them done, right? You understand the MVP principle, right? Sometimes you're not going to be able to do everything perfectly, but you're going to put forth your best guess if you utilize critical thinking and you use the proper, analysis of things that are out there. Get her done, right? Everyone loves a go-getter or someone that can get things done, someone that's not needed to ask questions. Hi, how do we do this and how do we do that? No, you're an adult. Companies want to hire adults, and adults get things done, right? That's an important quality. And if you can somehow lean on that, there's nothing in my career that has come my way that I did not complete, was not able to get done. If I have to stay late, if I have to work on the weekends, whatever it is, as a team, it's all about getting things done and working together as a group, right? Also, that first pillar, being caring, that leads to you being a good team player, which is huge when someone's trying to hire you, right? So the first pillar and the second pillar, the get her done pillar. Third pillar, UI design. You are a visual UI designer. And in some way, if that comes up, hey, about certain trends and things like that, you want to let them know that modern visual UI design principles and trends are at the forefront of your thinking. You're not going to try to do anything weird, but you're always at the forefront of the situation when it comes to understanding, previewing, studying modern visual UI design. You never want to go in there and have that lack of clarity or that lack of attention to high visual UI design skills or design effort, because you don't want to go in there and not think that's important. By the time you guys put out your product, you guys are like 5 years behind in terms of your visual look and feel. If they're going to hire somebody that's great, that's amazing person, get her done, they want somebody who's a good visual UI designer. And that's what you got to tell them, that you're constantly studying Dribbble, you're constantly studying Pinterest, you're constantly looking at the latest trends. Simplicity, white space, soft drop shadows, illustrations. These are trends that we see out there, and we always want to stay on the cutting edge. So let them know your UI design, attention to visual UI design detail and modern design is at the forefront. Lastly, you're an expert UX designer. You're an expert UX designer. Why? Because you approach everything with logic and reason, and you apply critical thinking in everything that you do. You don't overthink, but you ask questions each and every step of the way with logic and reasoning. And UX design is common sense. If you approach everything that you do, that makes you, in my opinion, a strong UX designer, and that's what they want. Your job is to put forth a strong foundational design. You're not trying to be the Elon Musk right now of this project. Hey, your principle, your philosophy should be, let's get a strong foundation and then we innovate on that, right? I know everything that I design for this company. I'm going to put forth something that's strong, that works, that's user-friendly with a high degree of certainty, because I understand web design standards. I approach everything with logic and reasoning. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm trying to keep things simple. I apply critical thinking in every aspect of my design, whether it's from the kickoff all the way through to the final design, and I put forth my best guess. That, in my opinion, makes me a strong UX designer, and that's what I can bring to the table. So you are a strong designer. You got to utilize those things, utilize those words. You approach everything with with logic and reasoning, and apply critical thinking in every aspect of the design process. If you do those things, you will kill every interview that you go to, every UX design interview, in my opinion. You're an amazing, good person. You get things done. You treat visual UI design as an important, principle in the overall process of designing apps and things like that. And lastly, you're an amazing UX designer. You do those things, you will crush your next interview. Anyway, study these things, go over them, add to them. Remember, 4 pillars. Take out a piece of paper, write these 4 pillars down, add to them. It doesn't matter the detail, the adjectives that you use for each one, but just remember, it's the importance. Keep things simple. When they ask you questions in your interview, you lean on one of these pillars. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful. If you want to learn more about what I do and how I teach, go to my site, ML UX Academy. Click on the link right there. Go to that site, ask me any questions. Use the contact link on that page. Ask me questions. I'll be able to get back to you, or hit me up with a question in the comment section below and I'll answer that for you. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.